I met my old lover on the street last night. She seemed so glad to see me, I just smiled. Oh!
Well, it seems I've done it. Hopefully, this does not collapse. It's nearly...
All right. Well, everyone, we are here. If you did not join us last year, San Diego Comic-Con Conversation was a very impromptu presentation. I literally asked folks within hours, hey, by the way, my Thursday is free. I used to go and cover these things. Let's just have some fun and hang out. And it turned into just a great, great experience. So I reached out again and said, hey, let's do it again. Let's just talk about some of this stuff, especially because everything is blown up into a mess. So with that, let's bring these wonderful panelists in. Close friends, people that I really have enjoyed getting to know during this whole Pops experience, that kind of thing. It would only be remiss if I didn't bring in, the gem that he is, the machine himself from across the pond, someone that has been with me very early on, an encourager, even today. And he gives me gems and moments like this because I know if the stream collapses, this is the type of content that you folks can look forward to.
Oh no!
Ryan, my friend, thank you. The machine is in the house. How are you, my brother?
Oh, I'm doing well, and a lot of things have changed since that time. Mostly the fact that I don't really do many videos showing my face anymore. It's this damn light. It annoys me so much that I only reserve it for being on a live stream. Of course, the camera quality's gotten better too, but I've always found that lighting is very important. But it's great to be here, Pops, and hopefully we have another great talk about San Diego Comic-Con, and a lot has changed over the past year.
All things pop culture have definitely been in flux, and with us is another great expert, host of his own show, which is Pop Talk without the S. Great content, a dude that loves the sports ball as well, even though he's a bit of a masochist. I mean, let's face it, if you're a Cubs fan at this point, I do question some of your sanity, but it's not without love coming from someone in Tampa where we have endured our ups and downs as well. Pacific 414 is in the house.
Losing his mind. And I'm reaping all the benefits.
Mike, my friend, how are you, brother? What's going on?
I'm doing well. And yes, being a Cub fan, you do start to lose your mind.
Well, it's awesome having you with me, hanging out. We'll talk some nerdy stuff, pop culture stuff, things like that. And it's always great to have you with me. I don't have the right kind of clip. I have a clip of this man. He is the host of Last Call. He is a man who may be a superhero in and of himself, which I have nicknamed the Clot. I do have video evidence of that conversation as well. So the man is without his own genetic mutations and is, in fact, more of an X-Men than Miss Marvel, in my opinion. Welcome, Troy PACELLI. I do not have your song and dance number handy, but I may find a way to upload that in the meantime as we can take a break from time to time to revel in that. Thank you, my brother, for coming and hanging out.
Thanks for having me. Yes, I am more of a mutant than any of the Marvels, and probably bigger boobs too.
Well, you know what? I got to be honest. She's a teenager at this point. It's probably best that you have some boobs and she does not.
I said any of the Marvels. So.
Well, I don't want to talk about their boob jobs. So, but Pat S is in the house. Hang on, brother. I hope you're doing well, man. Thank you for being here, hanging out, doing stuff. It's awesome. So. I thought turkeys could fly. Well, if you watch WKRP in Cincinnati, you get a life lesson on turkeys. I've long said my testimony. I had one quite literally fly at me, so I can testify they can fly. However, it did not fly well or far before it was very confused. So it is possible that, they would just drop like anchors. AC from across the pond. How you doing, brother? Always great to have you. And listen, my friend, if you want to hop in, I will gladly throw that link in there. You can join us as well. So as one of my members, I will always open the door for you, my friend. Tim Hayes is here. Hey there, Tim. Hope you're doing good.
I'm going to be hanging out with him in a couple hours over on Netter's Network.
Awesome. That's
Very
great.
nice.
So, yeah, cool. Everybody saying hello to one another. That's always great. Let's see who ZBR is in the house. Hey, brother. Hey,
It's
ZBR,
late.
last night on our stream, we were able to share your Doctor Who photos of some of your collection. I used it as an example of I wanted people to know, please share your photos and encourage people to do shorts and those cuts, just as I have done to you. So wanted you to know that. So if you do run across that, don't be totally surprised. But so yeah, here we are, guys. A year has transpired since we've had conversations about the big Comic-Con. We're in the middle of a writer and an actor strike. We don't expect much at all from major Hollywood doing pretty much any interviews or promotion now that Oppenheimer is over. So I'm not quite sure with the ticking clock if that will help get the actor strike resolved or not. Before we get too far into things, though, what are your thoughts? We'll go around. Ryan, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on the strike, the Comic-Con, the state of pop culture with the strike, and how that kind of affects things or not for you?
Well, for me personally, folks, I go here, there, and everywhere in regards to content creation and topics. In regards to popular culture, a lot has changed over the past year. I think for the positive. Sound of Freedom is proof of that in regards to films and also Dial of Destiny. But in regards to the writers and the actors strike, as it were, it's really a sort of contrast between two things, because the writers' strike is going to go on and on and on, because it's like putting a square peg into a small circle. The dispute is, in my view, too far gone. As for the actors, they're very vain people. So they stand in solidarity with their writer brethren, and then once they're out of the limelight, well, they go bitch and moan, as it were, back to the company. And yeah, I think the state of popular culture is far better now, mainly because of fellow creators who highlight the problem and find solutions to that problem, building large channels as a result of highlighting the problem, using all the investments as creators through their enterprises to build solid businesses to make pop culture great again. And we've clearly seen that with the likes of Eric July with the Rippaverse and Ethan Van Sciver, John Della Roz in the Comicsgate community. And to a lesser extent, we've seen that with Nerdrotic, Ryan Cannell, Geeks and Gamers, with what they've been doing over the past few years. So it's great to see. And hopefully, by this time next year, there will be no more strikes and they'll all be unemployed and the creator economy will take over in 2024. And hopefully that's the first of many great things that happen in that great year.
Mike, what are your thoughts on the writer's strike in particular being a big impact for programming and content over the next 6 months to a year?
I'm going to say exactly what I've been saying on Pop Talk. Good riddance. Let this be the end of Hollywood as we know it. Let this be a start of a new Hollywood. Us. We are the ones who are entertaining folks day in and day out, morning, afternoon, and night. We are the ones that people are putting their eyeballs on, not Hollywood.
Well, I agree. I think that's so true. And Troy, your thoughts on all this mess?
Yeah, so I'm pretty nuanced on this. I would start out with unlike a lot of labor issues and debates, this one I kind of see both sides of. This is one where they're very far apart, and at the extremes, both sides are knuck and futz, but they need to come together because somewhere in the middle is I'm going to use this word the way it's meant to be used. In the middle, there's equity. Okay. Yeah, I know.
It's a compromise.
It's become a loaded word, but because both sides have their points, right? I see the studios really screwing over everybody, and they do it over and over and over again. It happened with syndication, it happened with home media, it happened with cable distribution, and it's like, look, why do we have to keep fighting the same fight over and over again? Give people what they've got coming to them. If you are making money off of someone else's work, you need to compensate them for that. Now, on the other hand, you look at the the work that's being done, and you look at the profits that have been coming in from it lately, not just because of stupid decisions by these companies, bad business decisions, the decision to get away from physical media, get into streaming where they're making zero revenue, or losing money on the deal. They're putting out movies that no one wants to see, and they're losing money. And I'm sorry, I mean, you talk about what great writers you are, what great actors you are, how you deserve to be compensated. Well, the profit's not there. Sorry, you're not putting out a good enough product to deserve it. So what both Ryan and Mike said, I agree 100%. We're the ones that are now creating content, although we could actually have the same argument as the platform. Won't say the platform, but the platform we are on decides willy-nilly whether or not you can be monetized or not, or this and that. And then they take it away, but they continue to make money off of your product and your work. I can kind of relate to that too. So,
well, someone who is not on strike, a man, the myth, the legend, the man who is an expert at all things Tubi and sharks alike. The man that knows how to greet you in the most amazing ways. Sharkcast.
How you doing?
How you doing? What is going on, my brother? Happy Shark Month, Shark Fest. Talk Shark. How you doing, my friend? What's going on?
It is the sharkiest month of the year, everyone.
It is the sharkiest shark of the month of the year. Yes. So yes, I just recorded my review for The Reef. That will drop on my Throwback Tuesday. So, yes, The Reef was my latest one. So, yes, SharkCon. I'm doing my part. In this whole shark thing as a content creator. So, we'll take it back. We'll own it. So,
there is one thing you do need to review, and I think this is important. As a reviewer, I need you. You're gonna have to pay out. You're gonna have to do a lot here for me. I know this is a bit. I have some big asks for you guys before. I have a big ask for you again.
Oh no.
I need you, Pops, to try pineapple Pepsi.
What?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know.
Well, that sounds interesting.
That sounds decadent.
All right. Well, listen, here's the thing. I will mention that to Mrs. Pops. We'll see what her reaction is to that. Can we get a single can? We don't have to buy like a 12-pack or something, right? Or no?
To be specific, you can only get this at Little Caesars.
Oh, okay.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I tell you, I tried it. I cracked it. It smells like pineapple. Tastes like pineapple.
All right. Well, listen, I'm not opposed. And by the way, for any of you who want to donate to that experience, the Pops is going to try pineapple soda. Is it Pepsi? Pineapple Pepsi?
Yep.
Okay. If you're going to Pops Pineapple Pepsi, the alliterative thing, if you want to be that sponsor for that video, I will be more than happy to take that spite funding money to give you a live reaction and promote your channel or whatever you want to do for that video experience, because Lord Almighty, I'm like eat a pineapple thing like maybe once or twice a year. I'm not a pineapple guy. I have abandoned Pepsi whole cloth. We're not going down that rabbit hole. So, ZBR, you've got a link, my friend, if you want to join me. I see Matt has popped in here as well. Common name, my brother. Thank you so much. If you're also a member, if you want to hop in here, feel free to let me know. I'll give you a link. Come in here and talk about stuff going on. So, yes, Pacific's bringing. Everybody on this panel is going to be bringing it. So, does the strike help physical media in the long run? Will we see more selling of streaming on physical re-releases? Let's start with Mike. Mike, where do you think physical media does this change the needle at all? All I can say is from my experience right now, the finger on the pulse, physical media is still dead. I literally I've just went through, because I've been, let's just say I'm working on downsizing some things, and I had some physical media, and I was doing some cost analysis of what things are selling for through eBay and Amazon and such. And there are sealed Blu-ray things that are selling for like $5 and less that I was just like shocked. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So I don't see it. But the question is really, Mike, to you first. Does this change the needle? Do people go, you know what? I don't really care what they're doing right now. I'll just go buy it for $5 or $10 or whatever it may be.
That's a tough question, I think, because I strongly believe that that's up to the individual person. One person may say physical media is dead. Another person might say that's the only way I want to go because I don't want to go into my streaming service, whether it be Disney, Hulu, whatever, and see that they've altered a movie, altered a television show from its original form.
That's true. Okay. Ironcaster, I know Troy, you guys are physical media buffs, so there's really not a lot of argument from us in that arena. I don't know, guys. Does anyone think that this will change the needle yet? I think it's just too soon to say. Normies are still on the digital bandwagon. Let me say this, then let me reposit it though. Do you think this will change the economic landscape to make it maybe lower the prices or change some of that?
I think it's going to force their hands. For example, and I know this isn't the same thing. This isn't physical media, but we just heard that that Miss Marvel show, Disney has decided to release it on ABC because they need to get people watching it in order to get them in the theaters later this year. They're starting to realize by force majeure, if you want, that they really have to reach as much of an audience as possible, and their proprietary paywall is not doing it. Now, you've also got Sony out there. Sony doesn't have their own streaming service, so everything they do is still coming up on physical media, and they're doing gangbusters. They're doing just fine. You know, they're even their losses are mitigated by the fact that you can still sell a couple of DVDs of Morbius here and there. You know, but I think that
I actually looked at the financials for them last year, and they turned a profit. Like the licensing number for Sony was so big, and then their physical media sales were so big. Now, again, Spider-Man: No Way Home was this behemoth of a project, right? So let's just. It is an anomaly in some ways, but it should have been a little bit of, juxtapose that to the massive losses. Like, I mean, look, be honest, guys. I can even list off. I mean, everyone talks about Trek, but we can list off some good stuff that Paramount has. Yeah, and it's still not enough. They are bleeding cash like crazy. And Max, of course, is like a dumpster fire. I mean, everything over at Max is like, I mean. I don't even know why they're not already licensed. They should already have called me to ask me if I should take over the Batman title at this point.
It was so bad that HBO left the building.
Yeah, they just changed. HBO's like, I don't even want my name associated with this anymore. HBO just wanted a divorce. So I do have a breaking moment. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this or not. I think my sound will share. We'll see what happens. You guys see this?
Yeah.
No.
I glanced at it.
Be on the film threat panel at 4:05 at the Marriott today with Chris Gore, Alan Ing, Dante, Eric July, and others. After that, I'll be at booth 1705.
So Gary Beekler will be at booth 1705, the Film Threat panel, Eric July, and many others like Alan. So yeah, this is what you guys are talking about. We are the new
like Garrett and Gabe El Taib. From 5:30 to 6:30. What are we going to be signing? I have no idea.
Be careful, Gary. Be careful.
I think we can make him sign copies of Miss Marvel.
That would be awesome.
It's a good.
You guys
thing
know that Gary's actually been in a comic book, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me make sure I get the right issue for you. Yeah, it's an issue of The Boys.
No kidding.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other comics as well he's been in because he used to own a comic shop, and so he would know a couple of the artists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me get it to blow up for us. Yeah, this is Gary. This is what I would have him if you can track down that comic. This is fantastic to show this here. There's your Gary Beekler appearance for you.
Oh man!
Oh God!
Pretty cool.
No beard. No beard.
Yeah.
He's got the baby beard.
Yeah. So yeah, he's in a comic. There you go. Issue 23. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's one of my dreams. My life goals is to end up in a comic.
I've been mentioned in a comic.
That'd be cool. Say it again.
I've been mentioned in a comic.
Oh yeah.
Not actually depicted in it. A buddy of mine, and I'm planning to do a video on it maybe this year. He's a captain of a firehouse that's local to us. Years ago, shortly after Katrina, he was able to pull in some funds to do a comic book. He went to Comic-Con. He talked to the guys from G.I. Joe and whatnot, and they did a special to hand out to the kids, fire safety and all this kind of stuff. And he had a list of people to thank at the back, and he listed me in there. I'm not sure why, but I got to mention.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome.
There you go.
Well, I know Troy has a slideshow of some of the stuff. Before we get into that, is there any other thoughts of something that you're looking forward to? Let's start with Ironcaster this time, since you came a little. Is there anything in particular you're like, oh, I heard this is going to be there, or they're going to talk about X, Y, or Z, or is there anything like that in particular that you're hoping to see or hear about?
Well, the one thing that did surprise me, because I didn't really have much of expectations for Comic-Con this year, because the whole internet has kind of changed the name of the game here. But it's some of the merchandisers that have been coming out and starting to show off like the upcoming toys they're going to do. And I don't know if you saw this yet or not, but they announced a you remember the auto transforming Optimus Prime that you can transform by command?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's on the live stream. Yes,
and they've announced another.
Yep.
My goodness.
If you'll humor me for a moment, I will pull this up.
Sure.
Well, while you're doing that, I will pull up the GOAT. So if we're going to have a comic book centric Comic-Con, it's only fitting that we pull up the man, the myth, the legend himself, the great Todd McFarlane, who knows better than anyone about working a crowd and being fan friendly. Here is Todd. He's meeting with one of his fans. This is tweeted out by Billy Tucci. An inspiration to us all. Here's Todd. Just absolutely cool dude. That's on the bucket list to meet Todd McFarlane someday. That'd be the best. He's one of the few that I've never met. Really cool.
Good.
Yeah. All right, Ironcaster, I'm ready. Anytime you guys want to share something, I think, let's do it. What about anybody else? Anybody else interested in seeing? I would love to see actual comic book news. Is currently what I would like to see. I would actually see something. So if you guys haven't caught any of my reviews, I will review a new comic. I never get very far, and I lose hope. I lose passion because it either changes artist or writer, or doesn't stick to landing. In the case of DC, they relaunched some stuff, which wasn't really all bad. And then suddenly they stopped all of the relaunches to do a weird special thing and right in the middle of it all and broke all their momentum. And it's run by morons over there. Just
inconsistency.
It has been for years.
Yes.
Well, DC in a nutshell.
Holy crap. It's a freaking giant bot.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I want these so much.
That is awesome.
I want it.
I want it so bad.
I want it too.
The Optimus Prime is the one though. I've always hoped like at some point I'll get one used that I know still works and I can that's
the sound is what really does it, and that's such an easy thing these days to do. But yeah, they got that in there. That's good.
I've got my prime right here.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, the love's gonna come like crazy for me. Yeah, Grimlock's just the best. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's just transform. And he just starts going like that. That's great. So
I did not want the Optimus. I want the Grimlock.
oh, why not the what's all the Optimus hate? What's the
No, well, I mean, generally speaking, if it's the Transformer, I want to have something I can fiddle with, I can play with.
Yeah, I get that.
It kind of takes the fun away from it, but it's Grimlock.
Do you struggle with scale on those figures? Because they've come out in all different kinds of sizes.
Yeah, I kind of go back and forth on it a bit. I like the Studio series. I think that's been pretty good because those have been kind of staying fairly consistent for scale.
Yeah.
I got my Grimlock over there on the shelf. He's just kind of staring down at me.
He's like, "You're gonna replace me?"
No, he was the replacement Grimlock.
Oh, there you go. There you go. All right.
But actually, on the topic of comics, there is a couple I'm looking forward to actually.
I saw him too.
Well, yes, I got my copy ordered. There's off in the distance the new Transformers comics, which is with what Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman's company, with Skybound. But I think more in the much near future, the one to look forward to is next week. In fact, the new Conan.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
I
true.
heard
That's a
Andre
good one.
talking about that. Yeah.
And I haven't read the new Mark Millar. It's called Big Game. So it's kind of like his multiverse comic series where all these random great stories have kind of come together in one. So I know Gray over at Wakazashi has done a review on that. So if you want his take on that, that's fine. I haven't gotten to it yet. But throw another creator because I know that. Listen, I'm not trying to throw shade at Eric July. I love what he's done, and nor am I going to hate on someone like EVS. But to me, so far, of the ones I have read, the best of the best indie-funded books is Aaron Lopresti's Wraith of God, and book number 2 is being funded and stuff right now. So yeah, there's Aaron Lopresti set up over at Comic-Con right now. He and Shelley will be there. They have a great YouTube channel, live streams that they do. They partner with James Mealy, who you may have seen on my channel doing comic talks, things like that. As far as dollar for dollar, page for page, just a nuts and bolt, really, really, really good book. Wraith of God is sort of an amalgam, if you imagine, sort of a Jonah Hex Western element with like a cowboy and horse type rider, but with like a Vengeance Ghost Rider feel set inside of a monster verse. It's incredibly good. And all it does is make you want another book. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's called Wraith of God. So,
we're seeing a lot of foundations being built here. All of these from up-and-comers such as the man you just mentioned, Pops, because my memory...
Well, Lopresti is a professional that dates back to X-Men and whatever. So he's a former member of the Big Two. But Eric July would be the up-and-comer, for sure. Yeah.
Going their own way, so to speak. Those who are in the entertainment establishment, cutting off their strings and going their own way. And I think we need more of that. We need all the help we can get. We need to defend physical media from likes of Netflix and Microsoft, because they're really trying to digitalize all of their products. They started with software guys, and now they're going to move to games with Xbox. But the more physical projects, the better, in my view.
I'd ask what's better, G1 Grimlock or Beast Wars Dinobots? And I'm with Andre. It's all day, every day. It's Grimlock.
Well, the thing, I lean a little bit more towards the Beast Wars Grimlock because that was like the first sort of like that noble warrior like archetype that I had been exposed to. That just was a really influential character for me. So I have a soft spot for that Grimlock or that Dinobot actually.
The Dinobot, yeah. Okay, I got you. Anybody else got a vote? I pulled up Mike's, but yeah.
I will abstain due to my lack of Transformers knowledge.
Yeah. But hey to all of you in chat that are coming in. I see John's chopped in, Bobby's here, Andre, different folks are coming in, that kind of thing. Yeah, Pat asked, this is the Wraith of God thing. Yeah, definitely has a vampire hunter. It's a creature hunter. It's sort of very much in the vein of, imagine Ghost Rider who has to do it. Like there's elements there, like that's just, yeah, so good. Yeah, okay. ZBR saying, yeah, there are some professional writers that are not thrilled with Eric's book. But here's my thing with Eric's book. Eric's book's not bad. Eric's book is a volume 1. It's an intro book. And that's the problem. The problem is that it's fine. It's going to hold up very well, in my opinion, because I have faith that he's got enough people around him that will keep him massaging it towards, payoffs. But it's an origin. It's like the first step. It's like it's a chapter 1 book.
Foundation for a great building to be built.
Could it have benefited from 2 or 3 more pages of some actual action and things like that? Probably, but it's not the biggest criticism. Trust me. Yeah, watch my videos. I have tons of videos of like this. Stuff that's just absolute garbage. I mean, literally have the frame of the year is Aliens comic book #1. They did a reboot of Aliens. They do a book, and I kid you not. I want to see Troy's face in particular because I know Troy's not seen this book. There is a page. I kid you not. Full panels all the way down. There's nothing. There's no humans, robots. It's just close-ups of satellite dishes.
What?
With text boxes. we paid people to do that. Not like 80s or 90s where they would be like little 4 boxes going across and on a bigger page. No. The whole page was nothing but satellite dishes. Mm-hmm.
Now,
that's
was
my
this
favorite.
Establishing like cover page or something?
No. It's in the middle of the book. It's just randomly in the middle of the book. So, that's my favorite book of the year. Like I'll probably do a video at the end of the year, like some of the worst moments in mainstream comics where you just have characters that don't have facial features. They just have 2 dots and a little line, like a Peanuts character, things like that. The eye-shocking use of magenta.
Who was it that did the DC Comics thing about all the superheroes going to therapy? And you had a whole page, 9 images that were identical with just a different word bubble over them, talking about their feelings. It's like, this is
they
what
talk about
comics have
food.
become?
They talk about food all the time. They're obsessed with talking about food. It's completely insane. So let's get back on
John
to
Jones and the Oreos. That's where it started.
It was because they
maybe.
write books like they're pitching a Netflix series.
Oh,
I guess, but I'm sick of watching Netflix series and other shows where they're just standing around or sitting around talking about food. I mean, no offense, Secret Invasion, but you've wasted probably 20 or 30 minutes of time where nothing happens. They're just talking about stuff in a restaurant. So
everything's a green screen.
Oh, well, that's So
They She-Hulk series, She-Hulk comic series, where it was just her with like PTSD, where she like is hiding in her apartment and like watching cooking shows on her phone for like 8 issues.
Yeah.
This is from the Comic-Con streams and links and tags. John Malin did an update on his crowdfunded comic that you can go check out as well. It's live right now. They've already crossed $40,000 on the first day. This is a godlike. So this is the Romulus saga continues. And you want to talk about just beautiful art with that sort of feel. It's just tremendous stuff. So you can tell right there with that look, that feel of that era, just everything about it. So I will put that link in there in chat so you guys can see that.
Nice.
And check that out. That happens to be up your alley as well.
Good.
All right. Well, Troy, let's hop over to some of the toys and some of the stuff that you've been able to put together for everybody, because I think it's going to be kind of fun.
So let me know when you bring me up, because I can't see StreamYard now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So I was telling you about this in the back before. This was one that was apparently a I don't know if this was a leak or what. I feel like this was something that they intended to announce at Comic-Con, like today or tomorrow. But this hit the one of the Facebook toy collectors pages. As of this morning, they hadn't taken it down yet. So I guess they're just letting it go, letting it run. But this is the next wave of retro figures from Hasbro. We'll take a quick look at. So we got the Gamorrean Guard, we got Wicket. Unfortunately, this is another one where you got a troop builder, and you would have to buy them all to get multiples of this if you wanted to. But the Imperial
Emperor's Guard, Royal Guard, yeah.
And if we didn't have enough yak faces, they're re-releasing it. Personally, this isn't one I really need because I've already got the Stan Solo, but here it is again. And of course, everyone loves Admiral Akbar. You know who would go really well with Admiral Akbar, whom we never had, was Mon Mothma. You remember that scene where Mon Mothma pulled a pistol in the middle of her lecture, right? Right? Yeah,
well, she keeps it in her dress. Obviously, there's a holster in there for a Han Solo style blaster, not actually one of the normal. And she wouldn't use like the one Leia had, which would have made. I mean, if you're going to give her a blaster, you think of giving her that, long chambered blaster that Leia used to come with would have been the appropriate blaster. If we're going to give her one.
Exactly. I agree with you on that, but also this is the same mistake that Hasbro keeps making with their retro line and not thinking through. If you're going to do a figure as if it had been done back then, think through what you were doing in that line during Return of the Jedi. Look at what Admiral Akbar comes with. Does he come with a gun? No, he comes with a stick. Look at General Madine. Did he come with a gun? No, he came with a stick. Everybody came with sticks for some reason. I don't really understand it. They didn't have them in the movie, but that's what they did with the toys. Why does Mon Mothma get a gun? I don't know. But
I mean, my theory is that they want to kind of replicate lightsabers in a way. So you have like a stick-like weapon.
Okay, yeah, maybe. But the point is, it does look like a good figure. I do want it, if nothing else, than for that. We did get some images of the box. This is very much like the recent Obi-Wan, and vac form metal droid one that just came out. But this is the one that most people were looking forward to. Plus or minus. So this is this went up yesterday for sale on Hasbro Pulse. And let's be honest about what this is. This is a re-release of and repaint of the Jabba that came with the sail barge. So it's slightly smaller than every other of Jabba that came out in this scale, but very, very well detailed. It comes with a new carded 8D8 and Salacious Crumb. These are new sculpts that have never existed before. The throne, all the accoutrement, that stuff is coming with the what's it called? Book of Boba Fett, Bib Fortuna throne room. So this can just be swapped out. It was actually a very clever marketing move. But let me give you some view of this. So here's a bit of a close up on those figures. This is what comes with it. That throne, that plinth or Diaz or whatever, exactly the same one that's coming in the Book of Boba Fett one with a slight color change. Again, a new sculpt. It will be on a mini card, which I guess some collectors like. I gotta say though, the sculpting on this looks really good.
I was gonna say the detailing on this is actually really, really nice.
It's got. You'll see in the next one here the articulation on the arms and hand. I do have the sail barge, so I have this figure already. So I've already had a chance to see it. It is good. I love the hookah comes apart just like the vintage one. You got the little frog inside of it or whatever. The soft goods that he sits on. Now
is this the 3-inch or the 6-inch?
This is a 3 3/4 inch. Yeah,
because that with that articulation, that looked like it was going to be for the 6-inch series.
Yes,
so I thought they were phasing that out.
This is there is a 12 inch. There is a Black Series version that's got very similar articulation. You're right. Generally, when you see a figure coming out in the Black Series, the vintage collectors go, okay, cross your fingers. Looks like maybe we'll get this. It does require completely new tooling, and that's what this is. But I do think that the original sculpt on this that came with the katana predates the Black Series. So I'm not a Black Series collector, but I know some people are. So I'm going to try to go through these quickly. A lot of these I don't know about. So Random House, Star Wars Inquisitor, Rise of the Red Blade comes with this little pin, I guess. Whatever. $50 available through wristbanded access at the Penguin Random House Book World booth. So it's an exclusive. Mattel Masters of the Universe Revelation motherboard. Yeah, I'm sure people are fired up about Masters of the Universe Revelation. $65 Mattel Creations. I noticed also available. That means it's not an exclusive. Probably they want to sell as many of these things as they possibly can, which makes sense. Marvel Spider-Man 2 print. There's an exclusive.
I'm not seeing a different slide yet on that one. So
the Marvel one.
Yeah, we'll see the Master of the Universe slide.
Yeah, we're still on that one. There you go. Yep. Tomer Hanukkah.
Yeah, exactly. So
there we go.
That is, and you'll see the one on the left is an online exclusive, and the one on the right is at the booth. Just different color variation if that's something that's important to you. This I found very interesting. Spin Master Mandalorian N1 Starfighter model kit. I mean, I don't usually collect this style of model kit, but it is actually pretty cool looking. I know those are also on the smaller side, but if that's your kind of thing,
like all metal.
Yeah, exactly. I believe that's the case. It's hard to tell from this picture, isn't it?
You know that Naboo starfighter looks better backwards than it does forwards.
It kind of does. You're absolutely right. And we also know I have a pre-order in for the 3 3/4 inch release of this, and people are asking if they're going to use that same mold and retool it slightly to re-release a prequel Naboo starfighter. For the anniversary, like next year or the year after, I can't remember exactly, and it would make sense for them to do that. So we will see.
The irony is, Ryan, that would be some cool element that you could probably put into a Mandalorian TV series if there was an ounce of creativity. So
yeah, exactly.
But there's no fear of that actually happening. So
McFarlane DC Universe 30th anniversary Nightfall Batman figure.
Wait a minute. I saw it and then I went away. So bring it back. I'm on Starfighter model kit. There it is.
You got it now?
Yep.
Okay. So
classic gray. Yes.
I wasn't able to
I
find
love that.
I wasn't able to find price information on it. But that is it's McFarlane. So I mean that tells you everything you need to know. Although I will say this, what the way something looks in a picture can be deceiving, as you will be able to tell by NECA's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 Samurai Turtles 4-pack. NECA has beautiful looking figures in package, in the promotional art and whatnot. They've had some sketchiness when it comes to unboxing and finding, hands and legs left behind in the package and things like that. But I'm just showing you what we got. $150 for the 4-pack. But for NECA, that's about right. It doesn't.
Can you advance the slide? I think we're still on Batman.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. There's Samurai. Actually, that's pretty good detail. I like that.
I love Troy's bloopers.
No, we're fine. I'm not a huge enough fan with turtles, but I got to be honest, the detail and stuff on that's really nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Isn't it like the Turtles 3?
Yeah, that's Turtles 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, they look great. Like I said, if you're an in-package collector, NECA's the way to go. But if you want to take them out and display them,
ooh, you better be careful.
Cross your fingers. Yeah, exactly. And okay, you seeing this one? This is Goku and Gohan.
The father son Kamehameha.
There you go. Bandai 2-pack. Not my thing, but they're good looking figures.
I've taken to picking up some of the figure art, so this is like kind of right up my alley for them.
There you go. There you go.
One looks too cold, the other looks too hot.
Right.
Those could be rebranded, Troy, into the Heat Miser, and we could get that redone there to Christmas time. So, Troy, question from the crowd. CBR wants to know how many figures does Troy own?
Oh God, you don't want to know.
My
wife doesn't want to know. I can't even. Just in my line of sight, I'm seeing 3, 6, 9 on display. I've got, about 40 Migos hanging on the wall behind me. I've got projects of customs all over the place. I've got hundreds, if not thousands.
I was going to say he's got to have, because I probably have at least 200.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have none, but I'm building one out of blue tack.
There you go.
It's just something else I can send Ryan. We have to get on a action figure kick to send Ryan so we can do the yearly box. So
I'm doing a lot of that too, the custom figures and whatnot.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. That's cool. Let's see that. Hang on. What are you doing there, Ironcaster?
Oh, so I just bought a couple of blues. And if I get the figure, like becomes a motorcycle. But
it's very, very cool.
Actually, I have two.
Japanese animation is just mental.
Well, it looks like it's gonna be about the only thing that I'll actually get picked up here. Here's the other one.
I'm gonna go ahead and open the door for somebody else to come in if they want.
Sure.
We'll probably only got to go for another hour or so, it won't be like a ton of time, but just know, folks. Yes, please do. Yes, please do.
You seeing G.I. Joe Hasbro Classified Series Chuckles?
Not yet.
Okay, let's try that again.
There we go. There's Chuckles.
All right. Yep. Don't know the price on this one. This is available for pre-order through Hasbro Pulse. This was revealed. I don't know if it was revealed today or if it's going to be revealed tomorrow, but there you go. Again, I'm not a classified. I am not a 6-inch collector, but it's a cool looking box that it comes in. So
$41.99 is what I'm seeing.
Wow, that sounds like a lot, but I guess that's probably about right for those 6-inch figures.
Again, I'm quick Google searching, folks. So if that's wrong, I do apologize, but that's what I'm seeing.
And you know what? I think you guys are just going to have to make sure you keep telling me if you're not seeing what I'm talking about on
Darth
screen.
Revan looking good.
Yep, Darth Revan. This is the keepsake Star Wars what do you call it? Ornament. $30. That's about right. It will also be available at the New York Comic Con later this year. Again, don't know if this is absolutely exclusive or if you'll be able to get it through Hallmark later. Don't know. But
thank you, Steven.
Mattel's Jurassic Park Hammond Collection 30th Anniversary Steven Spielberg figure.
Wow. Talk about just ego. First it was Fableman's, which it's bad enough, and now he has his own Jurassic. I mean, this is so oh my gosh. I mean, we all want to have one, but if you haven't had one by now, Steven, look, there's like a little camera and stuff, and then they're not even doing it proper. It should be with the famous photo with him with the trike. That's the one you should have done.
Oh, well, see, but that's they'll sell the trike separately, and then you can do it. Yeah, that's how they'll do it. Yeah,
especially if you could get him to articulate so he could sit down with the trike. Like you could, that would be the best way to do it. But
I can't wait for the Kathleen Kennedy action figure.
Oh, so he could be first in line with blood coming out of her nose.
Well, it's a removable head, so you can self-insert her as all of the other British brunettes that she's got in all of her. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be in scale with the Fleabag figure from the indie line.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right. Mondo X-Men, the animated series, 1/6 scale Logan.
That's super sharp.
Don't
super
know.
nice, right?
I like
there.
it.
But I'll tell you, I get sticker shock when I see $215.
That's actually
Yeah.
not bad for a 1 in 6
For a
scale, though.
1/6 scale, yeah, you're right. That's a whole lot of plastic.
Yeah,
200.
it's probably very hollow. Probably not a lot to him. Yeah, he's probably not a lot to him, but that's not a horrible sticker price.
He's
for a 1/6 scale. He looks pretty good.
Yeah, this honestly looking at this, look at it like that sticker does that price doesn't even shock me. I'm looking at like, yeah, that's totally worth it. That is
$400-$500 is the norm for a 1/6 scale.
And it looks like it's not an absolute exclusive. You can get it through Mondo. So,
damn, you Americans have lots of money.
No.
Well, it's funny you say it as we get to this next one. The Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron storyboard ships. I saw this and it got me thinking, it's driving me up the wall when you see all of these toy lines, and it's not enough that they put out all these, they're not even getting to all the stuff we actually want from the TV shows, the films, and so forth. They've also got to put out imitation prototypes and, the Ralph McQuarrie drawings and the sketchbook. It's like, oh my gosh, isn't there enough already to put out?
Nah.
But yeah, this is this, and so it literally, that's not just a black and white picture. That's the way the item comes.
Well, that price sounds a lot more appetizing. X-wing, A-wing, TIE Interceptor. You could paint them. You could paint them.
Let me ping back to the Mondo 1/6 scale thing for a second. Is anyone familiar? Does anyone have any of these or had any of those? Are they good quality? Or is that why they are nearly half the price of Sideshow and stuff like that? Anybody know?
I don't know anything about.
Because they have a 1/6 scale Prince Adam Master of the Universe. It's not my speed, but that's like 250. So maybe that's about their going rate.
That, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that one coming up.
Oh, there it is. So yeah, there's a whole scale. Oh, man, bad. Ooh.
We just jumped.
Wait till you get to Magneto. Oh, I'm gonna need a minute alone. Holy crap, that's cool. Man, that is cool. I gotta go check my bank account. I'll be back in a minute. Holy cow. That is King Spawn Throne.
Yep.
Wow.
Again, it's
man.
Sketch edition, so it's that black and white style. It looks good. $80 seems pretty decent for what that is.
Yeah, I don't know how big it is, but again, modern Spawn guys. It's the new Spawnverse stuff is really, really good. So.
Then back over to Hasbro Marvel Legends, Deadpool and Bob Agent of Hydra 2-pack. Available to pre-order at Hasbro Pulse through one-time QR code provided at Hasbro's SDCC booth. So in other words, this is a con exclusive, but it's a pre-order through Hasbro Pulse if you go to Comic-Con. I don't dig that, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
I don't like this whole pre-order thing. Hasbro needs to just start making the toys and selling them. Don't even get me started. This one is very interesting. Are you seeing that? Gentle Giant Retro Jumbo Indiana Jones.
Retro Giant. How big does that? What does that mean?
So Gentle Giant, what they do is they take. Okay, so just like I don't know, say Super 7 or whatever does like same scale figures like in the retro style, Gentle Giant takes those figures and blows them up larger. So this one is probably about, I don't know, 6 inches, 12 inches tall. I don't know exactly. But what it's doing is it's taking the old vintage Indiana Jones figure and blowing it up big size. Same articulation and everything.
I pulled up the Gentle Giant website, so I have the page up for it.
Great. What is the does it give the dimensions?
This is a 12-inch figure.
It is a 12-inch figure. Okay, there you go.
It's Indiana Jones on steroids.
Yeah, exactly.
This is actually...
And they don't go for like higher what do you call it, detail or anything. They preserve the detail of the smaller figure. They just make it larger size. So Gentle Giant, it's not my thing, but I know that they've got a great following. You know, it's good stuff, I guess.
I love my Gentle Giant figure or two that I have, so I'm not gonna throw some shade at them. I like what I get.
So another Dragon Ball. I'm not even going to try to pronounce. I'll mess them up, but it's a 2-pack for $85.
It's Raditz.
And it's Gohan.
Raditz and Gohan. Okay, I didn't mess them up too much. There you go. I mean, those are good looking figures too.
I'm waiting for them to come up with some more of the Kamen Rider stuff, because like I've got the Geats in the line, and I'm waiting to see them drop a couple more from there.
Now, don't anybody tell Mexican Iron Man, but NECA has a Melmac Cosmic Con Elf. Cosmic Con. That's what it says on his little card there. $40. It's sold out online, but it is available at NECA's SDCC booth. So there you go. If that's a must-have, if you are a huge Melmacian fan.
I'm just making sure.
We can get it from Mike for his Christmas.
Yeah, you're right.
I just want to make sure Loki knows that it exists, because then it'll definitely make its way over to.
There you go.
Oh, Pops, you devil!
Yeah.
Oh, I had to inform Loki of something similar to that for Mike.
Oh, good. So back to Jurassic Park, and I have these in no particular order. I didn't have time to arrange them. Mattel Hot Wheels, which means it's probably a smaller size thing. Jurassic Park Jeep Wrangler with Dr. Ian Malcolm, $30.
I'm still seeing Alf. Alf.
Sorry
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, it's injured. It's injured Ian. Oh, jeez.
And then is this not the one you were talking about before? Mondo Masters of the Universe, 1/6 scale Prince Adam, another $250 one.
And what we can't see in that image is these are limited. There's only 2,000 of those. There was only 1,500 Wolverines, so they are limited.
Oh, wow.
So again, at that price point, it's not the worst thing in the world at 1/6 scale.
I mean, I'm not like the hugest Masters of the Universe fan, so I'm a little confused by the pink sword and the
I don't get it all either, but you know what? That's
Well, he's gay now.
Sword is what
He's gay now.
Is what Prince Adam, the original toy, came with when it came out in 1983. And
okay, so it's an homage to that. Okay,
yeah,
okay, I get it. Loyal subjects, comics, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So these figures are in the style of the comic books. They actually look pretty darn good.
Hang on, advance it for us, please. It's
sorry.
on. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. 120 for the 4-pack, 30 each. That's a reasonable price.
They don't math well. You don't really get a price break there. They should make it 35 for I don't know.
Well,
whatever.
I think what they're saying is you can buy all 40 of them, or you can buy them individually, as opposed to these other ones where you have to buy the package.
True.
If you only you get your option. I like that. I like having my options. And from what I've heard of this particular company, they got a lot of nice little accessories in there and swappables and whatnot. For $30 a figure, I think that's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's value for money. It's consumer friendly. We need more of that, especially in the United States.
Hasbro, back over to Hasbro Vintage Collection, Chrysanthemum, $40. So I'm assuming this is a deluxe figure. I don't have any images of the box. This is another one of those Hasbro Pulse. You got to have a QR code from the booth. So in other words, I can't get it if I want it. So screw you, Hasbro. Although they'll probably be releasing a different version of this on a card. So
may we see it?
Oh, sorry.
There
you guys got to let me know because I can't see what you.
I was trying to.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a great looking figure, but yeah, it's an exclusive. Whatever.
All right. It didn't advance.
It didn't? Okay.
There it goes. Oh boy. That's gonna
Yeah.
go on.
Are we all excited about this Funko
You've
Ant-Man
gotta
and
be
the
kidding
Wasp
me.
Quantum Mania pop? MODOK. Also available at GameStop because nobody's going to want it. And I didn't even bother putting up. I could have done another slide that had all the other Funko Pops that they're showing there. Who cares? I thought
Is Funko thing still a thing? Like, is there really this much of a market for the Funko thing? I thought Funko was dead. I don't do videos on Funko stuff anymore. Is it not dead?
They were like dumping a whole bunch of these figures that nobody was buying.
Didn't they have their like parking lot full of storage of basically of stuff that was just rotting effectively?
Yep. And they had to just dump it all. That's what I had heard. I don't know, man. Maybe they had a license and they have some legal obligations to put some of this crap out, but
I don't know. This is crazy. I said because when I did a video and I basically said with this many that are heading to Walmart, it's over. That was the thing. When it's going to Walmart like that, and not talking about like exclusive Walmart exclusive ones. I'm talking about like just this mass quantity. Like it's over now. It's done.
It's oversaturated. The market's
exactly.
had its time to rise. It's now fading away, and hopefully it dies in the ditch.
The thing is too that this was the mass market thing. This is what the general populace got for. Oh, I'm gonna get in on the geek chic. The real hardliners were like, no, I want the Todd McFarlanes and the whatevers. This looks dumb. This looks kiddie, but whatever.
It looks like when I try to peel potatoes.
Yeah, exactly. That would have even actually been better, Mr. Potato Head. Then you can swap out parts and make these characters. You get a MODOK expansion for your Mr. Potato Head.
Are there Funkos at 7-Eleven? You guys have seen that?
Yes.
Yes.
No, there are no 7-Elevens where I have
7-Elevens over there. We jumped the shark if there are 7-Elevens. That's ridiculous.
So
is there a lot more slides, Troy? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No. I'm on 43. I got about about five more.
Okay.
More. So I got Spider-Man 2 with the upgraded suit for Miles Morales. They're available at Sideshow Con 2023. So there you go. This one actually kind of I found very interesting. Super 7 Godzilla King of the Monsters figures.
Oh.
This doesn't look like a photograph. This looks like artwork. So I'm assuming it looks similar to this. And it looks pretty good. But this one is available at the Super 7 booth. Does anyone still like Cowboy Bebop? Screen print by
you can move the slide. We can see what you're talking about. Yeah, it's just a rendering. Yeah.
Ooh.
$80 color versions, 100. Yay! If that's your thing. We got more Transformers. I think these are the ones that transform their gender. Maybe I don't know. $50 at the Hasbro booth.
Mike's our Transformer expert. Maybe he would have some light.
That was actually taken from an episode of G1 called War Dawn, where you find out the origins of Optimus Prime.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah,
that's supposed to be Ryan Pax.
I'm just picking on modern Transformers. I know that these characters have been around for a while. Back to Super 7, we got the Power Rangers Black and Gold Dragon Zord. Looks pretty good.
Is there a Chunky Chicken? Is there a Chunky Chicken figure?
Oh, there might be.
That's my scissoring hen. I need a Chunky Chicken.
Okay.
Because Chunky Chicken has a giant scissor, because that's where the scissoring hen thing's from. So yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Last one, Mattel Hot Wheels Return of the Jedi 40th Anniversary ATST. So this is that the tiny figures.
Right.
$30. Also available Mattel Creations starting Friday, July 21st. So, and there you go. Those are all the ones that I found anyway. Short notice,
Funkos will go the way of the fidget spinner. That is so true.
Yeah, exactly.
That is so true. So, all right. Well, let me show you guys what we have for breaking. Well, I don't want to say breaking news, but we can go to Twitter. If it's on Twitter, it's breaking news, isn't it? I mean, isn't that the way of the world nowadays? Like so.
Check out PNN, folks, the Pops News Network.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Honestly,
This is the Mutant Mayhem Turtles. I don't know. It's awfully dark, so it's going to be a little hard to see. So let me pull down Padawan.
So dark that April is black.
Yeah. She.
That was me trying to be funny. But
I am really, really having a hard time with the design elements of the show. Like, I just can't get into it, but we'll see. Let's see what a little bit of dialogue.
If it's any consolidate and any if it makes you feel any better, this is probably not about as well as Blue Beetle, which is looking to be projected abysmal.
Pizza with bits of waffles on it.
It's better than it sounds. It actually sounds delicious, honestly.
Oh, jeez.
Why does the yellow turtle's head look like it's caved in?
I think it's supposed to be Michelangelo, which is even more frustrating.
But you're right. They're always talking about food in all of these shows now.
Yeah. When the turtles are on brand talking about food, but I mean, just look at her design. I mean, that is just, and the fact that Eastman and Laird, you know what? It's just shameful, man. You're just a joke.
Well, in the Chinese market, those Ninja Turtles would be food. So
that's true. That's
true. Here in the South too. So
I eat a turtle. I don't know. Maybe this is possibly mad at me for even entertaining the idea. Okay, so this is the Star Wars booth. This is Outlaws, where you can ride this bike, speeder bike.
Well, at least it's not a space Vespa.
It's not a Bantha.
It looks like a bike with no wheels on it.
Yeah.
If you get the video and stuff, that's not horrible. I mean, you know what? This is the kind of stuff that they should be doing. They can do and do well. It's just
right.
But
you know what though? I would be the one that would get on that and go like a banta.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things they could really do to like try to help endear people back to Star Wars. Just do these little pop-up Star Wars experiences. Like, do that at like malls across the country. I mean,
that's true. Yeah, I mean, when you go to these shows, that's one of the coolest things is that those things are kind of out there and they have those things. Like, have you ever gone to some of these massive shows like this? They have, a life-size Rancor, and you can pose inside of its hand, and you have a life-size Wampa, and you have, Jabba. They have the whole Jabba palace to scale. There's no Ula running around, but it's pretty close otherwise. So,
I mean, the one thing they have to do is open up to using some of the original stuff. Like, I want to do that on Endor. Like, look, I get it. It's like Disney wants to go and try to market their upcoming stuff, but they really need to remember that this old stuff exists. And that's the Disney MO is they keep trying to roll forward and go with the current thing. It's like, you should really cash in on that legacy stuff. That's why it used to be worth $4 billion.
And that's what the license companies are all saying, I mean, this is why they couldn't sell the High Republic books, so they put them on the floor and they put out all the Timothy Zahn books,
Yeah.
I mean, Hasbro's doing the same thing. They're like, we can't sell Rose Tico. We want to sell more Luke and Leia.
CBR, I don't exactly. What I meant with darker was just the fact that the lighting of the show was so dark you couldn't really make out a lot of the details. The original Ninja Turtle comic books are incredibly dark.
Yep.
Like, it's a black and white comic. It's very adult oriented, violent. Man, it would be an amazing. I mean, I wish you could do it in the vein of like Daredevil season 1 would be what I would try to liken it to. It's like that level of what it would be like would be amazing. 8 episodes of original TMT. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Actually, you say in like the first season of Daredevil, they should have filmed him contemporaneously. Because you'd want to do it on the same street with the same. You get a different angle, and then you go into the sewer and you see the turtles getting splashed and whatnot.
If they could all be in the same universe. Oh.
Yes.
That's why I made that dark joke. It was so dark that April was black.
Yes, exactly.
There we go.
Try to be on the nose.
Got you right there on the nose. Yeah. Kathleen Kennedy punching bags. Fun for the whole family.
Oh, they could market the heck out. You know, those would sell.
She
You
would
imagine like a dunking. You know how much money they would raise if they had like a dunk tank? I mean, I'm talking about like thousands of dollars for charity or something, man. That'd be crazy. It's going to be live coming out. Yeah, shells. Most of the products I want now are Lego. Are cool. Yeah. Very cool.
I personally think that Kathleen Kennedy will be the next CEO of Disney.
So you think she's the next rising star over there?
Yes. Yeah.
I want to see that video. Let's see that trend.
Yeah.
Ryan, it's like Kathleen Kennedy rising star ? And it's you going, I'm just going to posit that this is going to happen. See, I was going to do a video. Here's my video idea. I haven't done it yet. Maybe we should just clip this. When is Kathleen Kennedy Day? Like, let's walk through Kathleen Kennedy Day. Kathleen Kennedy finally gets here, and YouTube melts down for at least a day. It just melts down. It's literally like, and Troy, you're old enough to get the reference. Mike, I think you will too. It's literally going to be the song "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead," the celebration in the streets. I mean, it's literally going to be the fake celebration of thinking things are going to change because we know they're not going to change. It's a cultural issue, but that day will be meltdown day. What that's what I think of. When is Kathleen Kennedy Day? That kind of thing. Yeah,
it's gonna be like. The unfortunate thing is like the party balloons for that have long since lost to helium, and it's just gonna be a series of like sad balloons.
Because I was just gonna say, by the time it happens, are any of us really gonna care?
Well, by the time it happens, she'll be the next CEO of Disney. So,
how many Star Wars days will we have had before?
I mean,
we'll do our own Star Wars days before.
How about 4?
We're definitely in the area where it's hard to predict because she's just disappeared. She's gone. Nobody has seen her in I don't know how long, and she's not going to be doing anything in the very near future. And her contract's up in September, October. I don't know.
So. I don't know. I'm going to change the subject to something positive now. Palette cleanser. This didn't come up, so I guess it's not a San Diego Comic-Con thing. This is the 1/6 scale Magneto that stopped me in my tracks. 225. There's only 500 of them. This is what he looks like.
Yeah.
Look at the accessories on this. Look at the accessories. Holy cow!
And it's a reasonable price for a middle-class American.
Look, it has both the Eric head and then it has the angry Magneto, pull the adamantium out of Wolverine face with the magnet radiance with all the different hand. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Look at that pose. That is, oh my gosh.
But if you look, it does say that's an SDCC booth exclusive. So glad you like it, but if you want it, you're going to have to get yourself to California.
Nah. I'll find a way.
This is my problem with these exclusives. You know, and it kills their collector market. Because it's like, look, I can't always get to San Diego Comic-Con to get every single figure. If I can't get every single figure, why am I going to bother? And people walk away from it.
I see both sides of that though. Like it's I think there is something cool to having the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive ones, and there's only like 500 of them or whatever. Like I get it. I see both sides of that argument. I see what you're saying. I think that you can have maybe, I mean, they should have had, if they don't already have another Magneto one that's not 500 at San Diego, they should have another Magneto. Maybe it's not, in just different design elements or whatever, and that's what you get a Magneto. It's just not that one.
And so a lot of places do that exactly. That's true. The
markup is already $500 on eBay. Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's already one on eBay for 500.
That's what happens. You can't get to San Diego Comic-Con, so someone goes and gets it and sells it for twice the price.
That was exactly the point I was going to make, Troy. For some people, going to cons is a business venture. Not the people who are in the booths, but people going there buy up these limited edition products and then sell them for a good profit. How American of them.
I mean, but I don't blame them for doing it. I would take advantage of that too. If I was,
I did it.
I've done it.
I've done it. Yeah.
When the one time that I went to Chicago Comic Con, we get this swag bag, and we looked in, and there was all this stuff that some people were like, "Oh my gosh, you got a such and such." Oh yeah, is it valuable? Yeah, it's valuable. Okay, I'll sell it. It wasn't something I wanted, you know.
Well, I would buy like let's say like I know I went to one and I would buy 3 of them so that I could sell the 2 that paid for mine.
Yeah.
So mine's essentially free. So I have some stuff that's stashed that basically I'm at net zero on because I bought in 2 or 3. And actually I have. There are I will confession time. We should have special music playing. I don't know what that would be. Ironcaster, come up with some music that we could start doing with like confession times or something. I do own Funkos. Hi, I'm Pops, and I own Funkos.
Dun dun dun.
I own two Bob Ross and a couple Trons. Well, I have 2 extremely limited edition Star Wars Clone Trooper ones from a Star Wars celebration that I went to because I bought extras to sell and they did not sell. Oh. And now they're so expensive, no one wants them because everyone hates the sequel movies. But they are these beautiful, really cool. I'm like, I'm not giving those away. I'll figure it out eventually. But yes, I do have like 12 to 15 of them left. And most of them were gifts. So I'm kind of trapped with a couple of them. Like, I can't get rid of that. I mean, my daughter gave it to me, or I can't get rid of that. One of my best friends gave it to me. And stuff like that.
Will admit I did the same thing you just said when I got the Razor Crest. I got 2 of them, or actually I got one and Netter got one, and then we resold one of them for twice the price, and then basically I was getting my Razor Crest for free.
Yep.
But blame the companies that make that happen. They're the ones that put the bottleneck out there that kind of force people into doing that.
Yeah. And reality is now it's like there's just so much stuff and that kind of thing. So I'm over on Twitter just looking through stuff of what's sort of out there, news and stuff otherwise. I really am not seeing like, a panel or something that knocks my socks off. Oh, this broke today or anything like that. I'm not seeing it. Have you guys seen or heard anything like that? I mean, the Ripaverse thing is live. Here's a photo from it. So they did their thing, which is so cool to see. It's like so inspiring, to see that sort of manifest.
Well, these creators are holding the fort, so to speak, while the establishment is playing strike, as it were. So I don't expect any home run, so to speak.
Gary looks ticked off.
But the fact that this is even happening is progress. It's a solid foundation, and hopefully these prominent creators and their successors, because if there is going to be lasting change, they will need strong successors. But this is a great start, and hopefully it can lead to some home runs in future events.
I do want to say one thing about the whole Eric July model. I think regardless of what you think of his comic itself, I think his business model is brilliant. I mean, I was shocked that first one because I got in on ISOM 1. Literally a month later, he was sending them out. And this was despite the fact that he had the problems with the crowdsource not wanting to release the funds to him and all this other stuff.
Didn't he have a problem with PayPal?
Yep. PayPal tried to, they said,
They stole hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's his ace in the hole, his business acumen.
Yeah. And so this idea of crowdfunding something, and it honestly wasn't a crowdfund. It was more, I'm ready to go with this.
It's a pre-order campaign.
Yes.
That's a term you'll hear him use. And I used it in his new video. He did a video a day or 2 ago, and he uses the term pre-order campaign. And I got to be honest, if I could bend Eric's ear, I'd be like, listen, I don't know who owns it, but if you could sell a license for, let's say, $1,000 for the software to say, okay, you install this on your website, and therefore you'll now have the software to, this is how you run it.
Yeah.
For like $1,000, like a very low cost or whatever, you not only will just blow the internet up by having like millions of people start their own business immediately, even people that hate you.
Yeah.
But most people that do that, like myself, would be like, I owe you everything. I would give you a portion of my business. Even I got to be honest. That's almost like maybe yes, what you do. You do like the Buffett move, Warren Buffett. You're like, I will give you the license for 1% of your business or something. It's like something like that.
Selling the foundation, so to speak, to build.
He's done the work. He's
Mm-hmm.
built this infrastructure so you can post the comic book. It has all this infrastructure. Because that website stuff and doing all of that, it's so expensive. It's time consuming. It's frustrating. It's always going to be full of bugs. Who can you trust? You know, it's just, I mean, you guys know we all have channels.
Yep.
Who do you trust to be a wrench? Who do you trust to be your ad man? Who do you trust to do? These are difficult decisions that you have to make because, I think there's a lot of us that we trust one another, but with time we can't because we're each running our own channels. So it's like, okay, well now what do I do? Like who can you trust? You know, so it's, you know, with something like this, it's like that's what you need. We have to figure out scale.
Every creator sinks or swims by their own endeavors. That's why I will forever be a one-man band, you know, in that respect.
So. But you also didn't think you'd be at 1,000.
No,
you don't think you're ever
didn't.
going to be monetized. It's coming very, very soon. And by the way, thanks again for noticing the 2,000 subscriber milestone. I don't trust that YouTube won't continue to take some away, so I'm not actually at 2,000. I was not going to say anything until I was about 2010 before I actually said, hey, I was at 2,000. So thanks to all of you who continue to hang with me, all of you members and make it possible, viewers, things like that. So
channel suppression is a big problem, just to interject for a little bit, as we saw with the deplatforming of Justin Is Lost, who will be a guest of Reality Based on Saturday. He was a guest of Pops, and for a creator who nearly reached 54,000 subscribers before he was, it's quite the move by YouTube, and if it can happen to him, it can certainly happen to all of us, unfortunately.
Well,
yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back.
It's going to.
This is just a San Diego Comic-Con Top Gun thing that was exclusive. I thought I would just share some Top Gun love.
It's happening to everybody who has an opening on their video. They're getting hit with and demonetized for repetitive content because there's an algorithm that goes out and looks at your video, the first 30 seconds of it, and says, "Oh, this is just the same video as last time," and they demonetize you for that. It's like, no. That's the intro to my video, you
communist.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just proving a point where you need an actual person to actually look at it instead of relying on an artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pat, I do think he had to get lawyers involved and stuff to get his money, but they didn't. It's not that they just tied it up so he didn't have access to it. Yep. So he had to get lawyers involved. But he lost all of that time of interest on that money.
Right.
I will never let it be forgotten. I said, you have to remember when you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, your compounded interest on that is a lot of money. And that's unfair. Right.
And the other side of it is PayPal was able to sit on that money until they released it. They got that.
They got money. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then of course, whatever lawyer fees he probably had to incur. I don't know. You know, we don't know the case and the details, but I'd be like, yeah, my lawyer. I want my lawyer to, you know, they're going to pay for my fees. They're going to pay for this. They're going to pay for that. So.
Yep.
Let's see. I was trying to see if there's anything else that was interesting. So this is a video I did the other day where I pointed out how EVS and Comicsgate are good for business because they had gone over to the Garden State Con, and if you put in the hashtag for that convention, like 2/3 of everything that was being tweeted was those people. And when you go in, when you're doing the hashtag San Diego Comic-Con, now that Gary and Eric and them are doing their panel, like every other post is them.
Yep.
They got their foot in the door, Pops, and who knows, they may barge straight through by the next con if the strikes are all sorted out. With the actors' strike, I think it will be sorted out by next year. Writers' strike, though, that couldn't be a whole nother kettle of fish.
You know, I saw a lot of dust up and hubbub from the usual suspects, upset that San Diego Comic-Con had invited Eric July. And it's like, you know what? You don't even need to respond to them because there is no better argument than success. Seriously, if nobody bought his comics, there'd be no interest. Guess what? He's more successful than the big dogs out there.
Yeah. So Tim, I don't even think it's fair use. I think it's just the algorithm sees a 30-second or longer clip that is repetitive, and that's what flags it. My problem is it immediately goes to some sort of like move against it. So it will demonetize or whatever. That's the problem. I'm not sure that's totally what happened with Justin. I think it's content related because of a video he did about Sound of Freedom. But this is also an issue right now with your intros and things like that. Yep. I personally, if you haven't noticed, I have a whole bunch of intros, a whole bunch of outros. I mix them up. I change the durations. I've always known you don't want to do anything that's overly repetitive. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't have an intro, but I think if you have a long intro and it's the same every time, you do run the risk of that because they are complete hypocrites. It's just, that's just the nature of the beast.
It's a good job the show's called reality based and not financially based.
Well, but
let me ask you this, Pops.
Sure.
Lately on Pop Talk, we play the same intro, but we've all been talking over that intro. I'm curious to know how that's going to affect my channel.
Yeah, I don't know if the algorithm will know that or not. I would definitely recommend that. Loki did that yesterday or today. Loki was like talking over them. So if you watch it, he was showing the cartoon intro that he has. So he was doing Transformers. He was going more than me as it was playing because at least his voice was over it. Again, Mike, I'd be lying to you if I told you I totally knew how to solve the Rubik's Cube. I'm more like I can solve maybe a side or two of the Rubik's Cube. But then they take it away from me and they change the colors around or something. So then they hand it back to me and I don't it takes me a while to make sure I can. That's my best metaphor for how I understand how the algorithm works. But, and they're lazy. So like we're getting ready to come up on a holiday and on Labor Day. Don't do anything out of the weird on that weekend because there won't be humans around. So weird stuff happened during July 4th weekend. You saw a lot of people who were complaining about different flags and things that happened because it runs on automation. No one's around. You'll see it on Twitter. You'll see it on YouTube. And it's just like that's when crazy things happen where they let these computers run rampant. So, wait a minute. Ryan's wearing his robe and gets to monetize repetitive content? Maybe.
All of my videos now look alike and sound alike. We do use a structured setup for suggestion videos, for Rising Stars videos, for Gone But Not Forgotten videos. And they all have a samey feeling. Of course, we do say different things regarding
and you have
my
different bloopers,
thoughts.
too.
Yes. Much rarer now since I'm not in front of this damn light and camera.
But it just, everything will always change, right? Because before in Ironcaster had to suffer through week after week because I would do all these reface clips, right? Put our faces on things and whatever. Well, guess what? Reface got sued. Because they're part of the AI celebrity suit about images and whatever. So reface become extremely generic now. Like it's more like meme TikTok-y type face swaps. It's not like celebrity stuff. So I can't really do another Crow reface. Only the ones we've already made. Right. And YouTube, I don't know if you guys have seen this. There is a page I don't think it's in the copyright page where it's talking about repetitiveness in there. And it's mostly my reface stuff. Someone else has done it. So, let's see. Lots of just general stuff. So, let me ask you guys about going to a con. Has things changed for you guys where you would go to a local con? Where are you at on your, there's a decent con near you. I mean, obviously, Troy, you're in Chicago area. Mike's on the East Coast with me. I'm going to go to the Tampa show. It's the first show I've been to in years. I will be honest, I wouldn't go if my son didn't ask me to go with him. So where are you guys at on going to big shows like this?
Well, the closest con for me is about 4 hours away. So it's an 8-hour round trip.
Wow.
My goodness. Well, as for me, they do yearly cons at the Welsh capital, which is Cardiff. It's about a good hour, 2 hours away from where I live. It's been a while since I hopped on a bus down there, so it's about just an average 3-hour journey there and back. Unless it's like a big event, something that's eye-grabbing and catchy, as it were, it's not something I would really consider, especially because, well, I'm not financially based, so money is tight at the moment.
I can tell you what, though, if there was a UK con and they invited Ryan Roger ATHAY to come and have a table, it would be lit.
Well, I try my best. I'd make do and mend, put different.
If I could do a Pops
together.
Con, I want the machine at Pops Con, because Pops Con would be hot right now. There'd be a Talk Hard panel, and Ryan would introduce us. Even if it's on video and bloopers, it'd be fine. So
I try my best. I set up my table made out of VHS tapes because I can't afford a table, and go from there.
I'm shocked that there's this is what I really do hope. I do hope that, yes, the FNT crowd has come ahead of us, but I hope over time, as everyone continues to, find a voice, find their way, grow channels, that, TubeCon starts to happen, right? The tubers start to have, there needs to be a little last call panel, right? And you got them up there, and you're going to take,
Actually,
that would be.
I don't even want to do a panel. I just want, late night, Friday night, we all meet up at the pub, the hotel bar, have drinks together. That would be my panel,
Well, that's certainly a good inspiration, Troy. Of course, I have plenty of time, and to a lesser extent, Ironcaster has plenty of time. He's nearly a decade ahead of me. I don't know how old Mike is, but as for Troy and Pops, I think they've got a good, certainly 10 years ahead of them, maybe 20 years. You never know if they keep away from the American.
My gosh,
diet.
Troy and I won't even be able to remember some of these details for 20 years from now. Are you kidding me?
You see, Ryan, the secret to my looks is a lot of preservatives. I'm gonna live forever.
Well, alcohol's a preservative, so
Forever Caster. Yes. Oh, that's great.
Just saying. But I am thinking about getting down to where do they do Dragon Con? Is that in Georgia?
Oh yeah,
Atlanta.
I wanna get down there for either that or maybe one of the upcoming Joe Cons or whatnot. Because
if you're going to come all the way to Atlanta, you at least need to let me know you're going to be that close.
I didn't even think about that you're down there. That's right.
Yeah, that's close enough that we could at least have conversations about, is there a solution to figure something out? That's close enough to at least have a conversation. Yeah.
Because this last joke, I'm not a huge G.I. Joe fan, but I was hearing so many great stories out of Joe Con, and they're like, oh, it's not just Joe, it's all kinds of toys and this and that. And I was like,
Matt, a common idiot, went down to Joe Con. Yeah.
Maybe I gotta do that because a lot of my favorite toy YouTubers were down there. I'm like, all right, I gotta get down there.
Yeah, Scuba Pete. Scuba Pete went to.
Was down there.
Yeah, he's talked to Scuba
French.
Pete about it. Yeah.
In fact, Tony from Analog Toys came out from Australia, so I'm like, man, that was a missed opportunity. But
if I ever go abroad, the closest in regards to the United States for me would be Boston. But anywhere on the East Coast would be fine. If I were to fly over to the West Coast, I'd be afraid for my life. Because
you need to come to the East Coast and let me know. And I will let Mrs. Pops know I'm going to take some days off from work, and I will just chauffeur you around.
Well, that's very kind of you.
A road trip with Ryan.
There you go.
I will be at 10,000 subscribers by the end of the trip. We will be doing putting Ryan loose in the world, in America, with the shenanigans and his. How do we describe the things that come out of his mouth?
I just want to see the videos of him trying all the food.
Yeah.
No, right?
Well, and just seeing the people, like turning Ryan loose at like a Walmart. Can you just see Ryan in a Walmart like at 9 p.m. on like a Tuesday night where you're like, his face will be like, what is wrong with you humans? Like,
Americans.
Like,
is what I call you.
Are those people wearing
he's not ready for
pajamas?
the 2 a.m. crowd. Ryan's not ready for the 2 a.m. crowd at Walmart.
You know what, Pat? There's been conversation about a meetup. I'm not totally opposed with it. I don't have time to do the organization and the structure, but I would definitely do that. So ZBR, listen, man, you let me know. ZBR, if you guys, I'm willing to hang out. That's why I try to make everybody know I will be at the Tampa Con because I'd love to meet people. That's going to Orlando and meeting the few people that I met the regret I had is we didn't have a plan of what happens next. We just knew we were going to be in this one room. It's like, okay, we need to know, all right, so at this time we go for lunch, we're going to meet to go for lunch. You know what I mean? Do I have your cell phone numbers? It seems like that's what we should have had.
It's a scheduling nightmare, and it requires a level of organization,
just a little bit,
which the establishment they've cornered the market on organization. It's the one thing that keeps their structure in place because they've been there and done it for nearly a century now, give or take a few years. But it's that level of structure, and I think it needs to be a convention. That's why I study the origins and happenings of fellow creators, to try and find those unwritten rules, those unwritten conventions to content creation, so that we can take it to the next level without organizing to such an extent that we become the very thing that is trying to bury us right now.
Well, I think we have to figure out how to break the gates in, right? Because I think that, let's say, for instance, okay, I'm going to go outside the box. I want to see everybody's face. Let's just presume we're going to all go to MegaCon next time here in Orlando, right? We're going to pay, and we're going to get a table, and we'll get a B&B. And we'll just, that's it. We just have our own, we just carve out our own space. Screw them. We don't need them to give us and invite us. We'll just make a spot. And we just say, all right, we're going to be at the con. Here's our table. We can do streams and do stuff over at the B&B. We can do like what Culture Casino and stuff did over there with their group, right? And then we can just have meetups that are scheduled. So the Friday night get together will be here. The Saturday night meet, whatever we'll be doing, and you just do it. And I don't need all these people to organize the crap. If you can just get enough people to, split up some costs and make it work. That's what you do. You just figure out a way to do it. So,
and honestly, that's the way it was for me for years doing the Klingon thing here in the Chicago area. We'd get our table. We'd all show up in the Klingon gear and stuff. We'd tell people where we're going to be. Okay, tonight we're going to be at this hotel having drinks, whatever. Going to lobby con it tomorrow. We're going to whatever,
CBR is going to be in California. Padawannabe, if you're out there, maybe we'll have to check out some of you West Coasters. Make sure you guys meet up.
My goodness, Zombie, how much money do you have?
Hey, listen, I got to be honest. If there's a way to get him here, let's figure it out. So,
Pops, how close are you to Tampa?
I will say I work in the Tampa Bay area. I live in Central Florida, so it's two different.
Commute.
I spend half my time. I spend so many days here and so many days there, and
you are very much in the neck of the woods. You probably cross paths all the time with my buddy Aged Boomer.
Correct, I do. Yes, based on some of the conversation that you guys have had, I'm definitely in that sort of. Once his life is sort of a little more settled from the post-hurricane turmoil that I know he went through.
Absolutely,
correct.
Yes.
But by the time he settles down, Pops, there'll be another hurricane.
There'll be another hurricane. That's what I'm afraid of.
They don't hit like that very often. They don't hit like. But Lorena Creole is down here. I know Stephen Walton is very close. It's just again, the scheduling is a real problem. I mean, that's totally a legit thing. But I'm not opposed to it. But I think if someone is coming from the outside here, we should do everything we can to try to coordinate that. Because I got a chance to, meet and break bread with Zach's. I'll never forget it. We may never get a chance to meet. And we said that we may never get a chance to meet again. And it was like, well, we did it though, and our, YouTube made this happen. So
I was fortunate enough to
CBR. I will stop the track CBR if you come here. Absolutely. I'll take the day off from work. Whatever I got to do to see you, bro. Absolutely. Go ahead, Ironcaster. I'm sorry.
I was lucky enough to get together with Father Christopher Miller for lunch.
Oh, that's awesome.
He had come to the area on his way off to a retreat, and he's in the area, and I'm like, oh yeah, if you want to come here, go check out this store. Here's a little comic shop. But I didn't get a chance to answer the convention question. Actually, coming up in about 2 weeks, there's one here I'm planning to attend called Really Cool Comic Con. Not guests are guys like Jake the Snake, Sergeant Slaughter is going to be there.
He's a pill, man. Dude is crazy. I love Sarge.
Oh, so
Jake
good, crazy,
Snake.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really do cons anymore. Honestly, I fell out of it. Once the coof hit, we lost all of our momentum. And to be honest with you, I had decided even before that I wasn't going into the city anymore. So if the convention was somewhere literally in Chicago proper, we were not going. So
I don't blame you. It's like going through a gauntlet.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'll get out of Illinois and do a trip. Absolutely.
Go to the free state of Florida. I'm telling you, have a good time. Have a good time. So, all right. Well, listen, I don't know. Is there anything about Comic-Con that you're like, I've heard this might happen, or I heard this is going to be talked about? Is there anything left that we actually know is going to happen that we should be thinking about? Because I really haven't heard much of anything.
I mean, I heard that there was going to be a bunch of trailers released for some Trek-related stuff and some Marvel-related stuff, but nothing that I care about anymore. I don't care about that stuff anymore,
That's understandable, given the circumstances.
Yeah.
And the only news that I had seen yesterday, I don't even know that it's necessarily San Diego Comic-Con related, was the fact that the complete series of Babylon 5 is coming out on Blu-ray in December.
Nice. Yeah. I mean,
way overdue.
I've got them all on DVD now. I'm going to have to get them on Blu-ray. I have to get the White Album again.
Did you hear? Speaking of Blu-rays, did you hear that the Babylon 5 Blu-ray box set just got announced?
Yep.
Yours are available, but it's like online retailers only.
Ooh, interesting.
CBR is so true. My gosh, I wish we should do CBR. We should message me. We should get with Loki and try to figure out how to do one of those give, send, goes.
Yeah.
Send Ryan to the U.S.
but only give enough to get him here. We don't want him to go back.
Yeah, no return to sender. We're keeping him.
That's right.
My.
Maybe we should pull up that half-mile driveway, and he gets out of the car, and Mrs. Pops is like, "Hey, honey," I'm like, "Honey, I have something to tell you. I adopted Ryan.
We're taking in a refugee."
You might do before too long. We're getting infested. But I will say that I think a great, compromise is to have me on a tablet screen and have it done that way. I'm sure you Americans have a very strong internet that you can take with you everywhere, and just have me there so I can see what's going on.
I'm envisioning that Big Bang Theory where Sheldon is on the robot, and the robot's going around.
And the robot's on a Segway, right?
Right, with the Ryan robe on,
right,
and and fake hair and beard. Oh my gosh! Oh, it's got to be a meme, and there's got to be a meme in there somewhere. Absolutely, the Ryan Segway.
Absolutely.
No, I think everything just got so disrupted with the strikes. I don't know of anything where I'm like, I'm kind of looking forward to this or not looking for. I don't even know. I'm sort of like so blah on everything.
Well, the
nature's healing.
The bright side is no news is better than bad news in regards to the entertainment establishment. We'll take time for creators to fill the void. Most of us are still up and coming. But like I always say, keep on going, and fingers crossed you'll keep on growing.
This is a potential opportunity, too. If this year's Comic-Con goes really well, and people are fired up about the comics and whatnot, maybe they go back to basics. And they go, you know what? Enough with the movies, enough with the TV shows and the whatnot. Let's just stick with the comics and the comic-related memorabilia.
I did a video that'll come out in a couple of days, and part of my take on it is this is a great chance for us to get caught up on some of the content that's good, that people all keep recommending movies and things we haven't seen, and we can binge watch, we can catch this movie, we can go through old movies, we can make videos and really stockpile up this massive database of content. So when the rest of the world catches up to us about how bad all this really is, or there is nothing to watch, and they all start running to YouTube anyway, we're here waiting for them. That's my theory. So
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
time to start reading One Piece.
Oh God. Oh God.
My God, there's hundreds, aren't there? Aren't
You're
there
doomed,
hundreds?
Ancaster. You're absolutely
gosh.
doomed. But I personally think that we will see a change in circumstances when everything falls apart over at Hollywood. When you start to see impression spikes, I like to call them. That's when all your videos are really getting out there more than usual. And if we see an upward trend for creators over the next year or two, then there is a definite change in the air, because more and more impressions means more and more people are seeing your videos. And because YouTube is prone to channel suppression, an upward trend would be very, very surprising, which would indicate that more and more people are in the ecosystem to watch, because the establishment, the entertainment establishment's ecosystem is just going, so to speak.
Yeah, I think that the problem that I'm seeing, again, dealing with the normies that I'm around, there's still not enough bubble bursting. People don't put themselves in a situation to be challenged. I just talked to a guy today. He loved Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh.
So I just kind of let him just mull through a few things. And I said, let me ask you a question about this one part. And then I got to the part about Gamora's character. And he's like, I didn't think about that. That really wasn't very good at all. And then I went to this. So by the time we had our breakup in this conversation, and I was walking away, and I said, when I get to chat you, then we can talk about Adam Warlock. And he went, I didn't really like Adam Warlock. I'm like, see, they're not as good as you think they are. You just really just sat there, turned your brain completely off, ate the gruel, they spoon-fed it to you. But once you wake up and see it, you won't be able to unsee it.
That is the absolute problem, right? And it's what you hear so many people say when they, like change their diet, start exercising, getting in shape, and they're like, I was just stuffing my face with all this crap that made me feel terrible, and I never even noticed it, and I thought I enjoyed it. And it's like, consume. That's what they got you doing.
I really am interested in finding someone. I don't know if this should be a show for Ryan. Because Ryan, will you be able to behave if I have you do it where you interview me? Because I want to get to someone we can chat. I don't think he can. It has to be someone like Troy. Maybe we'll just jump the shark.
I'm no better. I'm worse.
He'll drink. I guess it'll be you, Mike. I know Ironcaster can't behave. We just know Ironcaster's not going to behave. So I guess Mike will have to go on your channel. I want to get into this concept that I've been down this rabbit hole of reading and studying with Charles Munger. And one of the things that Charles Munger's philosophy is like instead of focusing on what makes you happy and all these things to do, it's like reverse engineer the things that would make things worse. Like, in other words, the things that you would do to make someone completely miserable and ruin them. Like we talk about like what life is in prison, right? You remove their friends. They eat terrible food. They don't have light. They're not, all of these different negatives. Yeah. Then you do 100% opposite to that. And that's the way you kind of at least steer towards the positive. So you focus more on do opposite. You're not going to eat the crap. That's all. You just choose not to eat the crap. I'm not saying you don't eat bad food or some junk food from time to time. You're just like, I'm not going to consume this type of diet, right? I'm going to have positive friendships. I mean, I'll keep some negatives away, at arm's length. I mean, all of this reverse. It's called it's an inverse philosophy. It's like looking at things differently. We may not have the answers for success, but we know what failure looks like, and we know what the path of failure looks like. We know what the path of disaster looks like. So why don't we do something that steers in the opposite direction to that? So at least we're not going that direction. We may not be right, and then viewing failure in two parts. Failing the first time is likely due to ignorance or not knowing. That's not really failure. You just didn't know. Doing it the second time is the failure. Learning from your mistakes, learning from other people's mistakes, that's the thing. It's we've lost sight of that. So many of this younger generation and people I see, it's like any failure is failure. I'm like, but you didn't know any better.
Right.
It's like, that's normal. Yeah. Doing it again is the problem. We have to stop doing that. So I think there's room there for an entire stream. I'm not sure how to make a Watch Your Store where I'm talking about myself. I can't stand those. So I got to figure out a way to.
I can be good for one stream. I will promise not to drink and
I'll do
swear.
one. I can do one.
I can do one.
Netter will be watching me.
That's right. That's what it'll take. We'll schedule a time when Netter can be right off screen and watch it. Yeah.
I can hear in the background, Troy.
No. You'll just see something come from off screen and whack me in the head.
Oh, that'd be the best. Sorry. That's a blooper for you. That's the video. That's the cut. That's the cut shot I need right there.
Exactly.
I am always serious, even when I'm wearing blue tack fingers. I am very serious. I don't have a third one. I don't have enough blue tack, but I am a very serious person, Pops. I just try to be funny, and I end up not being funny. But,
I think you're very, very serious.
Oh no! I had more hair back then, but worse lighting. Back then, less than a year ago.
Have you guys seen my the way I'm getting through Secret Invasion is inserting a better way to express how I actually feel as I'm watching the show?
Oh my gosh! Oh gosh!
Using mines as grenades.
Yes, it's a landmine to the head. So I've been able to incorporate a better way to express how I feel. The inner pops. So
you're not gonna. It's not Miss Mullet screaming in the desert.
No, I have that too. But the one I enjoy the most is just the fact that it just keeps going.
There you go.
Yeah.
If Kim Jong-un was a woman in the desert. And thin.
Ryan.
Thin Kim Jong-un in the desert.
I don't even blame her. I just blame the people. Like, this is just so bad. It's just so bad. So.
Well, that was the other thing I said when everyone went on strike, the writers, the actors, and I said, and nothing was lost. I didn't even, I don't notice. I don't pay attention to red carpet events. I don't watch award shows. I don't watch terrestrial television anymore.
Nope, haven't had it for years. Late night shows. Life without late night shows has been glorious. That's so much better life.
I made my own late night show.
I think so too. Friday nights is pigeonholed in. Yeah, Pat S brought up the fact of like, how come you haven't been on, I haven't done this and how you haven't done that? I said, well, first off, I have been on with Troy, but it was a special showing. We had a special stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, Friday nights I travel. I'm, tied up on weekends, that kind of thing.
You got a life. Most
well,
of us
I don't. I have a lot of juggling. I get this guy every week with, which by the way, if you haven't seen the Cocaine Shark stream, us responding to Cocaine Shark it's almost like a muted response of how bad this movie was. I'm still struggling, Ironcaster. I'm still struggling with how bad it was. I feel so duped that there's no cocaine and not really a shark in my cocaine. I'm like, there's not really a shark and there's not really cocaine in my Cocaine Shark movie. I've been robbed, Mike. They're lying to me over here. But they've turned on me. I don't know.
The tagline should have been, there's nothing like Cocaine Shark. And this is nothing like cocaine or shark.
Yes.
I'd be on Troy's show a lot more often, folks, but he starts so late in UK time. I can only really do one late night show a week. I always like being on with Pops, so I made an exception for Pops. But usually no more than one late night show a week, and that's on the Hypno show. Next one will be Saturday with Melanie Mack as a special guest, where I will use my reality-based charms on the carnivore of Christendom herself.
Wow.
I'm Eastern time. How far ahead are you right now?
5.
You're 5 ahead. Okay. Well, I know we're getting ready to wrap up. It's like at the top of the hour. Let me get around the horn here real quick. Let me start with this guy, Ironcaster, my brother. What is going on? What is on the hopper? Is the agenda for the caster?
Let's see. Tomorrow night I will be on with 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, Clobbering Times, the boys for the Friday Night Comic Shop Talk, where we will be going through a little bit of Amazing Spider-Man. issues 37 through 40. So we're getting to the like Green Goblin stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday morning, I will be on with Brandon, the anime guy, for talking One Piece, because it will be in fact be the 25th anniversary of One Piece.
Nice.
Oh,
Wow, that's cool.
So it's been a lot of fun, just because like it's a chance to talk about the franchise a little bit, as I've been kind of helping go through the series with him.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I've restarted this 1,000 chapter series.
That's crazy. That's like saying I'm going to sit down and read all of Action Comics or something. That's just nuts to me. I just can't
just
imagine
reading the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran in one sitting.
All right. Well, we know we have last call. What else is coming up, Troy?
Well, tomorrow night I'll be over on Netter's Network for her Thursday things with this gentleman over here in the chat, Tim Hayes, talking with him. He's an awesome Blue Wrench. You see him everywhere, and we're going to get to know him a little bit. Then, yeah, Friday night, last call. I don't even remember what topic Boomer and I set, but it'll be fun, and by the end of it, won't remember it. So those are always the most successful streams. Saturday night over on we lost.
He had to bail out. I knew he had to bail. I just didn't know it was gonna. Yeah,
that's cool. Saturday night back to Netter's Network for a watch party of City of Angels. Yeah, it's a great one. Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage. And then of course Sunday. On Age of Boomers, Geeky Geezers, bringing you the geeky news of the week. We'll probably be talking about anything that gets announced at San Diego Comic-Con that we didn't foresee that comes up in the next couple days. A lot of Disney, and that's what
awesome
I got going
stuff
this week.
Awesome stuff. Mike, Pop Talk, other stuff going on? You gaming this week? What's going on, brother?
I'll be uploading my out of the theater reaction to Oppenheimer as soon as I see it. And of course, Pop Talk this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then maybe at 7:30 p.m. Eastern this Sunday, I'll stream a little bit more of Rise of the Tomb Raider, and also in 2 weeks from yesterday, it'll be the second anniversary of Pop Talk, and I'm going to invite everybody.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yes. And also, you can catch Pop Talk over on Rumble now, too.
That's great. It's awesome. Got to diversify. Indeed. Reality based, the machine himself. What's going on, brother? What's the next stream? What's the next shows? What's on the
Well, I've taken my fingers off, as it were, to be more serious, as it were. As for the next episode of Reality Based, it was originally supposed to be with John A. Douglas, but he's had to cancel. He's had a ridiculous schedule work-wise this week. So the next guest of Reality Based will be, what was his name again? Justin is Lost. Yes, I have a very bad memory. As we go through his origins and happenings as a creator, as well as his recent deplatforming. That will be on Saturday, the same day as the Hypno Show. And I think I scheduled it for 10 p.m. UK time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm sure we'll have a great talk, and hopefully people will support him outside of mainstream social media. But as for videos, I'll try my best to keep on going, and fingers crossed, keep on growing. It's been a bit slow of late, but that's fine. I'll still make a good 3 or 4 or 2 videos a day. It depends on my personal schedule, but I'll try my best to be as consistent as possible.
Very cool. That's very, very cool. Awesome. So, yeah, busy week ahead for me as well. Obviously, cartoons on Saturday. You know, how could you not get through a weekend if you don't have a little dose of Saturday morning cartoon? So I do my part, making sure. Been rewatching X-Men animated series, which is in the middle of the Dark Phoenix saga, some of the best that's ever been done. Then, of course, Batman animated series never disappoints. What's your story? I have a great guest this week, introducing to all you YouTubers that you he's not really, he has a YouTube channel. They put their content on YouTube, but that's not, they're more of a Facebook entity. They're kind of like the boomer crowd. He's a guy that wrote kind of a making of the Jaws 2 film. I've known him for years. He's a movie reviewer that dates back to my heyday. His name is Mike Smith. So he'll be on with me this week. We'll get that uploaded and finalized here in a minute, and it'll be good to go. And I have Scuba Pete coming up, Brandon the Anime Guy coming up. Comic Talk next week is going to be Danny over at Comics and Cosmetics, which is great. Also, AC, Angry Canadian, is going to be on the hook with me to do another Comic Talk because we had such a good time doing that one together. So tons of that kind of stuff I've been doing, obviously. I've been suffering through the landmines for Secret Invasion, but I have a nice palate cleanser. I rewatched all of Stranger Things. So I've been doing some video ideas of some different random pop thoughts. I don't know what to call them. They are just me talking about whatever. I just started today. I started a Netflix show called Beef. Interesting. So I have my video that will drop on my thoughts on Beef, and I'll be carrying on with that a little bit. So yeah, just doing our thing, man. Just making content, having fun, talking nerdy stuff. It's always fun. It's always fun.
I would actually make my thoughts on Beef, literal beef, because that's the sort of creator I am.
It's quite literal indeed, reality based. So folks, listen, I appreciate all of you that have hung out. Some of you have been here forever and a day. I don't know why. You should have something else to do. I have no idea why you're hanging with us, but you know what? We love it. We love it. So I say thank you. And I don't really have a great outro for something like that. You got to come up with something different. So let me say thank you like this.
Looks like it's going to be a 2-on-1, a menage a trois of paint.
Usually you pay double for that kind of action, Cotton.